which is interesting enough, really, when you think about it.
Where it seems to
Why?
be one of those sort of Marmite episodes, really, doesn't it? It's sort
Well,
of
it wasn't that. I mean, this should explain to you why Adam Bassell likes goats so much.
really.
Uh,
Yeah, okay.
so the whole thing with the rabbis.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hang on, we're here.
Oh, I think the red
Hello,
lights on.
www.flashingblowpodcast.net. This is the VidiProg. You'll cut that bit, won't you?
Absolutely,
Okay.
if I remember.
Okay.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and...
Hello there, welcome to the Flash and Blood podcast. I'm Siobhan. And the slug balancer's still here.
It's not a slug.
What is it?
It's sort of marker pen.
Yeah, you missed a bit in the middle.
I know. I've got the reverse Hitler.
The reverse chaplain, I think you'll find.
Ah, indeed.
He had it first.
Did he?
Yeah. Richard Herring did a whole tour about the moustache.
Yeah.
Trying to reclaim it for comedy.
He doesn't wear it still, though, does he?
No,
So that
it's
didn't
not
work.
stupid, because it does look stupid. It's a stupid moustache. Only Blakey from On the Horses were there. Yes, so this is a review episode. So, now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's... Hello there. As you can see, it's Robert of Sherwood. Look, I'm wearing green, Lincoln green.
Excellent.
Yes, and just to prove I did actually order celery for Hooverville.
Looks very nice.
Yes.
What's the badge?
That's the one you got me. Cat video.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
it's called. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, cat videos instead of YouTube.
Right.
So, yes, there we go. I like this hat. This is my Series 16 hat. Robot of Sherwood.
Mm.
What a Marmite episode.
Somewhat.
Yes, some people like it. Some people adore it, rather. Some people detest it. Adam Presser. I'm going to come straight out and say this. I fucking well adored it. Every single second of it, I thought it was superb. I was howling with laughter. My other half in the family howling with laughter. Dr. Sinister looks like Balok. What did you think?
It was decidedly different from the previous two.
Yeah.
It was an unashamed romp.
Yes.
There were some fantastic lines in it.
Yes.
It's a shame a bit got cut, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
And I really liked the Doctor in this. The way he was just generally kind of frustrated about the whole thing.
He's also more relaxed.
He was quite
Capaldi
chilled out,
seemed
but
more relaxed.
Capaldi is playing the Doctor like I would play him, quite angry and quite kind of moody. And I just thought, yeah, he was.
You advised him, didn't you? You brought him out to Sinister Island for a weekend. Him and his family.
Confirm nor deny this, but it was just kind of the way that he's just kind of incredulous about the whole thing, and just Clara's happy to go with it, and Robin Hood is just being Robin Hood, and the Doctor is just kind of, what the hell am I stuck in?
Well, I mean, you've made a point here.
Yeah.
Robin Hood's being just Robin Hood.
Yeah.
How realistic was that representation of Robin Hood and these merry men?
It was cliched.
Yeah.
But I think that was the point, wasn't it?
Could a band of rebels and highwaymen and whatever and thugs survive with the attitudes that they had? The ha 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 ha, the laughing, the banter.
No, they'd be a lot dirtier for one thing.
They'd be dead.
They'd be
probably.
dead. They'd be
But the
very cold.
attitudes they seem to have. Someone I know, Amazel.
You've got a really bad cough.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible, isn't it? Probably got it off you. The problem is it wasn't a very realistic representation of Robin Hood.
But wasn't that the point?
It played to the cliche side of it.
Yes.
You know, the ha ha.
Why are you laughing all the time?
It's a merry man. That particular side of it, rather than, you know, the Robin of Sherwood side of it. Now, I counter this by sort of saying, no, you're actually looking at the legend. The legend is the merry man, ha ha, this is what everyone likes. And it turns out he is like that. They are like that. They're still damn good at what they can do, as we saw.
It was almost a reverse deconstruction.
Yes, it was just reinforcing the view.
Yeah, because because you might expect that the real person would actually be either they're going to portray him as lazy, not very heroic, dirty, grubby, useless. Actually, it was completely like you'd expect, and it was like you said, it was a reinforcement.
Yes, and I think it worked. And you've got to remember, I mean, for heaven's sakes, I've said this before, I'll say it again, this is a story about a man who travels around in a blue box through time and space. However, Adam made the interesting point that it wasn't true to its own internal logic.
Go on.
In that, for example, magic doesn't exist. You know, there's got to be a certain amount of internal logic to keep the actual rules of the Doctor traveling around in a blue box through time and space. To make that realistic, you've got to keep other things within a certain framework.
I agree, but at the same time, we live in a very cynical world.
Yes,
where quite often heroes are reinvented for the small or for the big screen, and they're given a slight twist, and they're not quite what they seem, and they never turn out to be the heroes that you've worshipped for all these years. And in fact, this was just to hell with it.
You're talking Eccleston's Doctor. In fact, you're talking McCoy's Doctor.
Yeah. Exactly. So this was just a nice. It was different. It's kind of like, I don't know about you, but a lot of TV shows these days are very dark. Lots of very nasty things happen. Doctor Who is no exception at times, but it's always been a bit of a, slaughterhouse in many respects. But what's wrong with the occasional episode where everything's quite fun and jolly, And I don't have a problem with that.
You see, the way I look at it is, all right, they like that. However, they still can do what they can do.
Yeah.
They're still perfectly capable. They proved it in the episode. They can take Sherwood Castle.
Yep.
Nottingham Castle. I can see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I think, no, within this particular episode, that worked. I'm sorry, I do. I really think that worked. It's after 2 darker episodes, this was a joyous thing. This was, now let's celebrate.
Let's kick our shoes
we've
off.
Done the changeover. We've done the obligatory meeting with the Dalek.
Yep.
The Daleks. Now let's have some fun. Let's see a different side to him, and we do see a different side to him. This is him just going, he's completely exasperated.
Yes, and for this Doctor, who many people have said they can't get to grips with, I think that was an interesting approach to deliberately display another side of him. And there are still people out there who don't get this Doctor, okay? No. But I just his general kind of attitude throughout the whole episode was just one of complete kind of exactly.
Does not compute. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Yes, exactly. And I just thought that was brilliant. It just totally pulls the rug out from under the Doctor's feet. The Doctor who normally knows what's going on, this time he thought he knew what was going on. Actually, he didn't.
Nope.
And even had his sonic screwdriver taken away from him. So his cunning plan to escape from the dungeon, he didn't have one.
Yeah, can you do this without the word sonic screwdriver?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear his plan then.
Yeah. What was that? What was that line he said? And do people punch you in the face when you say that? Right
This
near
is
the
what I've
start.
turned up, isn't it? I mean, someone also reading various comments said that this is a doctor who suddenly turns up and threatens to punch someone.
Yeah. And as somebody else has pointed out, who may even have flipped the finger
Oh, I didn't even see that.
when he pulls the glove on.
Oh, I didn't see that. I'll have to go back and check
He
that.
pulls the glove on, and there's a lingering kind of
I will have to go and check that.
yeah.
But should the doctor just turn around and go, I'm going to punch you? Is that how that should be interpreted? Or is that just him being silly?
No, despite the doctor's protests, that was banter.
Okay.
The doctor says, I am totally
Testing
against
out
banter.
territory.
No, he's not. He's not against banter. He's done it before.
Of course it's. Well, this particular...
The character as a whole has done banter plenty of
this
times.
particular incarnation doesn't. So again, we're seeing this particular incarnation coming up against stuff that other doctors may have had variations on, and seeing how he reacts to it.
Situations they would have embraced. I mean, if you put Tom Baker in this story,
He'd have had a whale of a time.
he would have just gone with it. Yeah, he would have thought, right, Robin Hood, okay, fair enough, let's go for it.
Yeah, but every now and again you just had the odd look to the side and sarky remark.
Yeah. But this is the sort of situation where he might have looked at the camera and said, even the sonic screwdriver can't get me out of this dungeon.
That's another complaint. It's too Series 17 for some people.
Yeah, but the fourth Doctor would have gone with it. The first Doctor would have been probably more like Capaldi, slightly exasperated, but still trying to maintain a sense of dignity.
The third Doctor would have loved it.
Oh, it would. Yeah, exactly. He would have been wielding swords. He wouldn't have had a spoon. He'd have had a sword.
The fifth Doctor.
Well, the fifth Doctor would have had to have tried and rescued Adric, who would have sided with the sheriff.
The fifth Doctor would have been bewildered. This isn't right. What? I don't understand.
Yeah.
But he'd have been bewildered rather than antagonistic. The
Yeah.
seventh Doctor would have arranged it all.
Absolutely, the whole thing was a setup from the start.
Yes.
But although he may have miscalculated.
Yeah. I would like to see Doctor 14 with. I would have liked to have seen the Day of the Doctor now with Eccleston and Capaldi in as well, because Capaldi would be so dismissive of the others. The little muttered underhand comments.
Well, he would have yeah.
Oh, really? Is that what we're going to do? Is it?
He would have sided with the War Doctor, I think.
Yeah.
On many topics.
Yeah.
Particularly when the War Doctor
Those two
expresses.
would have started not bickering, but well, they might have started bickering eventually.
When they start waving their sonic screwdrivers around, 12 would have, Capaldi, 14, whatever we're going to call him this week, he would definitely have been in the side of the War Doctor saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
Timey-wimey, is that what we're going to say? Timey-wimey. I outgrew that.
Do people punch you in the face when you say timey-wimey?
Just as well for you, I'm here. I can't do a Capaldi voice.
No.
Excuse me, folks. Yes, so the cut.
Yes, indeed. In more ways than one.
Yes. The cut was... do you want to put a spoiler thing up?
Yeah. That was a spoiler thing.
Okay, now, very quickly, just so you know, there's a chance that we're going to talk about this, then we're going to put the spoiler thing up again, so you know where to come back to if you want to miss this entire bit of the conversation.
That's a bloody good idea.
I know, I have them. It can't be helped. So, the cut was basically during the sword fight at the end between Robin and the Sherwood of Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
The manager of Nottingham
Very,
Forest.
very stressing all day. Week, actually. Special 2, 3, 4 week. It's my life. Yes. He's a robot. The Sheriff of Nottingham is a robot. Robin knocks his head off. The Sheriff of Nottingham is the robot of Sherwood. There's a couple of lines still left in the series, in the finishing, which sort of hint towards that.
Doesn't he drop a line in the fight where he says something like "more than just man" or something?
Yeah, on the first of a new breed, that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, they cut what they could, and they cut a fair chunk, quite frankly.
Lost about a minute, didn't they?
Yeah, and on top of that, however, I am going to say, why was the Sheriff of Nottingham a robot?
Do you know? I'm thinking Tobias Vaughan.
No, I don't think so.
I'm thinking that he had been partially converted to kind of get him on side. But what's your view?
I think he was just pure robot.
Pure robot.
I don't think it was explained. I'm going to have to go back and have a look and find out. I will. But yeah, I think so. By getting rid of that bit, it actually, in my opinion, it actually helped. I mean, they did, like I say, they did their best with the edit to completely remove that strand. But
do you think we're going to see it on the DVD?
Oh, I should imagine so. Yes.
Uncut or as an extra?
Don't know. If they got any sense, they'll leave it in.
Yeah.
I can't see why they you know, saying that.
Then they can charge us
God
£5.
knows what the hell's going to happen in real world events.
Then they can charge us £5 more and say it's a extended edition.
Yeah. The I should point out my view on them editing it. They did the right thing.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Very much so. Anybody who's turning around going, blah 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 blah, I'm sorry, but you'll have a certain amount of respect for real world. You do, and that would have just been too much.
Am I right in saying this is the first time this has happened in Doctor Who? They've had to edit something pre-broadcast.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and think. Sorry,
it happens in other programmes all the time.
Oh yeah, but we're not around now.
Some of the soap operas, it happens all the time, but I don't recall it happening with Doctor Who.
They're quickly rushing to get breaking news straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they did the right thing. Though there was still one line about, would you still be laughing if your head fell off?
That's all right.
Ha ha ha, plop. Clara came into her own again. Really loving this version of Clara. I really hope she doesn't leave at the end of this series, as the rumours have it.
Well...
oh, hang on. Whoa. That's the spoilers. Okay, welcome back. Just saying how much we were enjoying Clara.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and so, no, we don't want her to leave. We don't know if she is leaving, but we don't want her to.
Well, again, going back to that scene in the dungeon where there's a guard watching them to work out who's in charge, and he takes her.
Blame him?
No.
No. It's just utter bliss. You got the Troughton-esque stuff of pulling off the sandal, and you know, you got 6. If you weren't a robot, you got 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, well, this will be for the rest of your lives. Well, in your case, maybe not.
By then.
And like I say, you got the cliches in there. You got the log fight.
Yep.
You got the sword fight with the sheriff. You got the archery competition.
Yep.
You got the firing an arrow in the air.
Yep.
It's
can we just talk denouement for a moment?
Denouement.
Yeah.
Oui. That's French, by the way.
I know.
Well,
No enemy.
You don't like French.
What? You're not French.
Are we going to have this argument now?
Yes, it's not an argument. I'm stating fact. Look.
We conquered you lot.
No, you didn't. That was the Normans. They weren't French. In fact, the Normans hated the French.
In that case, I'm Norman.
Hello, Norman. Right.
Go on.
Some people have criticised the ending.
What, the arrow being fired?
The gold providing enough critical mass for the engines, blah, blah, blah.
So it just hits the side of a metal spaceship.
Yeah.
And somehow provides... That was a little bit shaky.
More than a little bit.
Yeah, that really was a leap of faith. Suspend your disbelief time. In fairness.
I'm just wondering if there was perhaps a more elegant way they could have done that. But if they'd maybe, I'm wondering if maybe a couple of lines were cut. You know, when the Doctor was saying, "Oh, you're making a matrix out of gold to power your ship." I'm wondering if maybe a bit of extra explanation in there wouldn't have gone amiss.
Maybe ship's made of gold, or
maybe they didn't record it, but if they had recorded it, those would have been very good lines to have put back in to have replaced the missing stuff. But I can only assume it wasn't recorded.
Who can tell?
Who can tell?
Who can tell? But in general, Robert Sherwood was just utter bliss. That's probably one of my favourites of the new series since it came back. I'm going to be honest with you. I could just happily watch it just for the sheer comedy.
I did enjoy it, and I have watched it a couple of times since, but I would say I prefer Into the Dalek.
Fair enough.
Not because I didn't like this episode, but because, and this is not to denigrate it. It was a bit of throwaway.
Dennis who?
Sorry.
Dennis who?
Denny Great. He works down at the local Kingfisher pub.
All right. So, go on then. We'll now look for an ident.
Eight out of 10. Bordering on a 7. Not because it's bad.
Graph of all your various scores.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the major bit that lets it down for me is the plot's a little bit thin.
That's the story of Robin Hood.
I agree, but and like we were saying, they haven't added to it. But I'm just saying. But the thing that really lets it down is the arrow.
Okay. And that was Doctor Who. Right then, so listen. You're going back behind the sofa, boys and girls. There's some downright creepy moments in Listen. Yeah. It's a bit wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey. And quite frankly, it's going to creep you out. Stuff you've seen may not be what you think you've seen. I'm not going to say any more, but you should enjoy this one. Shall we go?
We have forgotten to do one thing.
Oh, that's a good point. Play it. Wow. Wow. What picture was that I haven't seen and I'm trying to react to?
It was really exciting.
You haven't decided yet again, have you?
No, we should discuss this before.
I still say you should put Chris in that 50th anniversary DWM poll poster. Just hanging from somewhere.
Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry, I just made him
hanging
the
from the
Merca.
dark sucker arm or something.
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I can work on that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see you during the week for, I don't know, I think possibly some Marvel books. I've got some Marvel books that need reviewing, and we've still got one in the bag, I think.
I've got a show ready to go.
Yeah, so that might be out very soon. I've got some more Marvel books that need reviewing. I want to start looking at some other Doctor Who stories as well. Some of the older Doctor Who stories. Don't forget the Flash and Blade podcast from www.flashandbladepodcast.net, which is sort of down here at the moment. Steve and Ian are doing a fantastic job with that. Talking personally, I really enjoyed their look at Into the Dalek and Deep Breath, along with Adric. Hello, everybody. I'm Adric. And yeah, go and listen to them. Also, I'm still twitching my World of Tanks thing, which the link for that can be down here. But also another link, hopefully, is my YouTube channel, which has recordings uploaded to it of the various Twitch streams, with the occasional guest. Not Dr. Sinister, though. Have you decided upon that yet?
I don't know whether I have the time.
2 hours once a week.
I don't know if I have the time.
Sound like Alan Bennett.
Well, I don't know, but would you like a cup of tea?
Me, Peter Sellers, Thora.
I am genuinely
number 42.
mulling this over in my head, and I'm just... It's just inertia, really, on my part.
Is this anything to do with Dennis again?
Denny Great?
Yeah.
He's not so great, actually.
Okay.
No,
Right.
2 pints I asked him for, and he served me a whiskey.
Of 2 pints of whiskey?
Well, yeah, but that's not the point. It's the principle.
He was there as well?
Because I don't even drink.
Shall we go?
Okay.
All right, then. And that was the Flashing Blade. What? Oh, Toodles. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Toodles.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.